Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all over the globe who are listening to my webinar. Today, I'm going to cover top 10 tips every Power BI developer should know. It was very hard for me to pick top 10, but I picked some of the difficult ones in the beginning, and then I'll show you the easier ones later on. Who am I? Okay, I'm Indira Bandaari. I have done my master's in statistics, and I have been working with data over almost 16 to 17 years now, and worked on different data warehouses and analytical solutions. I am a speaker at our local user groups and meetups in New Zealand, and also co-organizer for SQL Saturdays and the local user group. And also I have been volunteering and sharing my knowledge with kids, primary school kids and high school kids of age 11 to 16 years. Last year I have run a 12-week course on database development and Power BI with the kids. They're all there in my LinkedIn posts, and I'm thinking of starting another session sometime about I think early March this year. So that's all about me. So let's now move. So today's agenda is, first thing I'll show some techniques on web scraping, and also the second one is get data from a website. There is a small button on the web page in Power BI which I'll show you. So I'll show you how to get the data using that. It mainly uses the CSS of the HTML files and how to add dynamic goals and dynamic labels and dynamic titles and traffic light KPIs. And the last 4 ones are a bit easier ones. How to connect to Power BI desktop model once it is open via Excel. I'll show you mostly Excel. And how to sort a visual by a different column and disconnect a visual from a slicer and adding a contact us button. Okay, so web scraping. I have listed for each tip what the source I have used, and also if I have some references that I have used, I'm going to mention those references under each of these tips. So I'll start off with the web scraping demo. This session is all about demos. Okay, so I want to use this data from the United States Department of Agriculture Food Composition Database. See here you see the website. Now I want to search for, let's say for example, strawberries, or yeah, strawberries. So if you look at the link here it says search, and I'll just copy the link. Into a notepad. So here you have the list here. So we can remove all this synchronizer token and things like that, and then just keep the @qt equals loop. Yeah, @qt equal list. Yeah, @qt equals, no, not even this. We can just leave this. Yeah. So see here there is strawberry, and then this particular part we can pass different words like lemon or strawberry, or if we search for the for lemon, we search for lemon. So our search here, if you can see here, it will come as lookup as lemon. So this is what we are going to pass in our web scraping. The normal web scraping. Okay, let me test whether that particular thing works. So Control A, Control C. I'm going to even remove this one and check. So I'm getting the results for strawberry. So that means I know that the thing is working. So now I'll go to get data here. Open a new Power BI file, and I opened a get data. And now here I will use the web in the other sources, web, and then I'll use this link there to get me the data. So if I do this, what we need is not the document now. We just need the table 0, where, because it is formatted as table, these are the results, table 0. So now if I edit this one, excuse me, yeah, if I edit this one and I don't need these columns, so always remember to remove all the columns that you don't need, so that the performance of the Power BI file will be good. Okay, so I need these 2 columns. I have put these 2 columns, and I can load this as the table. But before I load, I just wanted to convert it to as a function. So to convert as a function, what I'll do is I just want to replace this one with a sort of a list or a variable. So what I'll do is, in order to convert this whole thing as a function, I go to the advanced editor and then open brackets and then give a variable name as a, let's say, lookup text or lookup name as text, and then close the brackets, and then you give the equal to, and the that means you are assigning this this code into that function. So once you do this, once you click done here, make sure there are no syntax errors. Once you are done here, it converts as a parameter, and then it is asking for a lookup name. So if I say strawberry and invoke the function, it will give me all the strawberry results. And if I go and give as let's say pepper, and then invoke the function, it is giving me strawberries and peppers as well. So how would we use this? So I would like to create a lookup table. So I'll just delete these ones. And then add a new query, blank query, and then go to add column, and then oh no, Okay, so this is a function, so I just rename this one to fn lookup or something. Okay, so now I'll do a blank query, and then I'll start typing equals. Let's say I'm just creating a table, and that it's a lookup type or something like that. That is the, and then I'm giving the values as columns, as values to the column. So for example, I'm saying strawberry, closing the flower brackets and with a comma separated by let's say tomato, close the brackets, and so let's say 2 potatoes, let's sorry, flower brackets open, potatoes, potato, and then close it, and then we'll close the flower brackets. So these two are okay, there is one more flower bracket. There should be one more flower bracket here. And then there is one more flower bracket. Okay, there is a closing brackets here. I hope this works. Okay, let me, it's a bit hard to, I'm just going to go into this thing and type it here. So lookup type, okay, so that's wrong. What is wrong here? I need to give a flower bracket here, and then the values whatever we want to give, and then close this one, and then close the final bracket. Yeah, I think this will work. Okay, let's set this thing wrong. Sorry about the typing mistakes I'm doing. I should have copied the code to create the table. Oh God. Okay, I think I'll copy this one. Okay, so this should work. Yeah, so this is a new table I have created, which has all the parameters that I want to pass for the so if I and I want to keep this as text, so I can do text. Okay, not any, and then you can do that with the code as well. Okay, so once our table is ready, so what we can do now is go back to the lookup text, and Okay, so I want to add a now I want to invoke a custom function and add a function lookup and then point out to that lookup name, and then I want to add this as a table, lookup table. Name. So now we can expand this table. Once we expand this table, then what we can do is we can get all the results. So that's one way to get the results, and then you can load the scraping webs all the results into the. So if I close and apply, close and apply, you get all the results into the model. So while this is loading, it has a lot of data, so it loads a lot. It takes a lot of time. So meanwhile, what I've done, I'll show you. There is also, if you go into the web page, see there are all these pages. So we have to now what the code that we have done, we have loaded only one page, but we have to load all the pages. Let's say for strawberry, there are 97 pages. So I think there are maximum of, I think, more than 97. Oh, yeah, okay, 97 pages for strawberry. So in order to load all the pages, so if I go on to 2 and then look at the code, see there is a offset of, there is an offset, and the offset is 25, and the order is descending. So that is we have to make that as another variable, because once we load the first one, with the code that we have done, it loads only the first page. So in order to do that, what I have done here is, because there is not enough time, I'm going to show you quickly what I have done. So this is not the one. So if I go here, so what I've done is I have calculated the maximum pages for each of the variable that I'm passing. So if I'm passing potatoes, the maximum pages is 206. The way I have done it is find the okay. So that will look at the CSV. So once we do the source, if we look at the source, there is a, if I edit queries, I'll show you how I have done it. So if I go at the advanced queries, I am passing lookup name as the like strawberry or something, strawberry or potato or something, and then there is a lookup offset as a number. I'm passing it to the, see here there is an offset equals, and then I'm passing the lookup offset, and this lookup offset is again another I have calculated that lookup offset as this one. So if this page, the page numbers, I'm passing the page as offset, this offset. Okay, so page numbers I have calculated as given as 0, 1, 2, 3 till the multiplied till the maximum of each of the one, and then because each result has each page has 25 or 50 we can mention. So if I pass 50, so each page will contain 50 records, and then so this I will pass it as the lookup offset number in this query, and then I have created a page number as well. So here what I have done is see, these are the CSS that I have expanded when I'm including the including it in the source. So for example, if I go into the source here, oh, it is already converted. Okay, I'll just quickly show that. Let's say get data and then recent sources. Okay, so if I say source here, hopefully that will come up. Remember this document. So in this document, if you expand, I'll just quickly show you that. If I expand and then see here, head and body. So I want to expand that and then go into the body. The reason why I go into the body is I go into the code and then say inspect, and then here there is a body div and div box, and from the form you get the pagination. So I expand till the form and then I expanded till the form, and then where I got the span and got the page numbers. So all these is expanded children. So all this code is actually generated by Power BI, and then that I have converted to a function by giving this one, and then using that I have created this this table where we get the page numbers, the maximum number of pages for each of the lookup name that we are passing, and also the offset. Offset is nothing but what I've done is I've just calculated the page number times the 50 times 50, just to get the 50 rows in a page. So that's how I have done, and then it took a long time. See here, preview downloaded, and then it took a long time, about half an hour to load all those data into this one, into my Power BI file. I would not say that this is an efficient way to download the data from the web pages. If there is a lot of data to be downloaded, it's better for us to use R or Python. But if we want something simple and something simple to do, so we can something simple to analyze, we can use the web scraping method. So that covers the first tip. This is the longest tip. Do you have any questions?
No, not so far. People were trying to help you out as well with the strawberry spelling mistake. But,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more. I should have typed it in the notepad. I have my eyesight as well, so okay. So coming to the next one, let's see what our next tip is. So here I have given what are the sources that I have used, and also I have mentioned what references I have used for getting the data. And here, this one, get data from a website. This one I figured out. So the source that I have used is the Met Service website that we use for Auckland, where I live. Here, this provides a 3-hourly observation. So now every 3 hours it changes. So now it's 11:24 p.m. here. So it will change in the next 35 minutes. So what I do is I'll just go through this one. This, if you look here in the web page, the data is formatted in this way: Ashburton, Auckland Airport, Auckland, and Whangaparoa and Venupai, and so on and so forth. I want to get this kind of data using web scrape, using just the link. So I tried once. What happened is I wanted to get that, so I tried, but what happened was I'll just try this same thing. So if I try here, get data and web, I just copied the link, and then once I say OK, okay, so you get only the document, and because they are not in formatted as table, this data, because this data is not formatted as table, the web link, the web connector doesn't show how, doesn't show any data. If we click on this one, it just shows this one. So how do we get the data? So I was thinking, how do we get, then I just spotted this one. So this is the add table using examples. So I just clicked on this, and then it's a bit slow, looks like. Okay. So what it does is it gives you a preview at the top, and then it's taking time to load. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. So here, so this gives you the preview. So you can just go down and then just click on this one. And I was thinking, I got a bit confused as to what, so I was trying to click here and things like that. So then I thought, okay, because it's giving a column 1, let me start typing Ashburton. So then I saw this whole list. So then I chose that, and then I didn't know how to proceed. Then by accident, I just click on this one, and then I thought, okay, let's say 9 p.m. 9 p.m. So I just chose that. And next one, I just want temperature. So I just chose temperature, and this says 18 degrees. So I thought, let me choose 18 degrees. So where's the 18 degrees? Okay. I chose 18 degrees, and wind speed. Wind speed is 15 kilometers. 15 kilometers, and I just want that. Because the time is running out, I'm just trying to. So nothing happened because I just copied only one. So once I did this, see, it copied everything, and then again I just did 9 p.m. and it copied all the columns. So once it just wants an example so that it can, how much is the temperature for 21? Okay, temperature 21. So we need to go and find the 21 degrees, and then it will. So that way you can form a, see, now everything filled. So now you can just say okay, and then you can load. So that's how you can, this is based on the CSS of the web page. So I think this will take time. Let us leave this one. Okay, didn't take time. So once we go, if we go here, then we get all the, not this one, this one. We get all the data. So that's one example. This the second tip covered, and there is a document by Microsoft itself. So I have given the link as to how to follow. And then the next tip is okay, adding dynamic goals. Okay, so if for this I have used one of my YouTube channels. I extracted the data from I think this one, data from my YouTube, from one of my YouTube channels, my daughter's performances, dancing performances. What I've done here is, see, this is my data, channel data. This has what the view count is, comment count, nothing, subscriber, how many subscribers, and how many videos. So I have uploaded 81 videos. So if I want to create a sort of a gauge with a dynamic goal. So for example, I have 125 what's this, views, yeah, subscribers, 125 subscribers, and here I have given 200, and this is a dynamic subscription. So for example, if I just want to have a static goal, I can just create a new column, and then I can just do a static goal as let's say 500. So then if I create a gauge, so if I create a gauge now with the subscriber count and a static goal as a target value, this gives me, how much should I give? I don't know. Okay, so this gives me, this is 500, I think. So this gives me just a static. But what if I want to show? So for example, what is the if my subscribers are 125, I want my goal to be 200. And once the goal, once I have achieved the goal of 200, it needs to change to, let's say, 300. The goal needs to change to 300. So for this, I had a targets table. I'll show you how my targets table looks like. So this I have imported from Excel, so we can maintain this in Excel. So I have given subscriber minimum and subscriber next. So what this means is, if I don't have any subscribers, the first goal is 100, but I have achieved the first goal because at the moment my value is 125. So my next goal should be 200. So in this way, I have created what the goals are for, what my dynamic goals are for subscribers, viewers, and the videos that I'm going to upload. And that way, once I have created, I have created a measure called, let's say, view goal. That's this will calculate the goal dynamically. What I've done is, so I have used the maximum of the from the target, what will be my next goal. So I have used the maximum and used a filter context by summing the channel and counting the view count of the summing the view count of my channel, and then comparing it with the minimum of the next target. So I hope you have understood. So what this does is, since my if I look at my view count here, view count at the moment is okay. Let's say subscriber count. Subscriber count is 125. So it has automatic. And if I look at the target, the subscriber count already has reached the first target, and now it is on the second target. So the gauge that I have created here, now this shows the 200 as the target. Now once if the let's say, for example, if I'm correcting this one to, let's say, oh, I can't correct. Let's see. If I change this subscriber count to, can I change it? Can't change here. Yeah, if this gets changed to 225, then the goal here comes to 300 as per my target table. Hope this I think you have understood this dynamic goal. If you have any questions, please post on the chats. Do we have any questions, Jan?
Yeah. Ted is asking, how do we get access to your slides? And I guess we're going to post them afterwards online, if that's okay with you, just like the other slides.
Yeah. I will post the slides and also the Power BI files that I'm creating now. I'll post them. I'll give them to you, Jan, so that you can give the link. Maybe I'll post it on a OneDrive or something.
Yeah.
And then you can put the link. Yeah.
Great.
Any other questions?
No, that was it.
Okay, so let's proceed because we don't have much time. Adding dynamic goals and then adding dynamic labels. Here, the data set I have used is I have downloaded from the kaggle.com website. Kaggle.com is a competition that we can learn data science in that using those data sets. There is a lot of competitions that always run through. So I have selected the retail data sample, and let's see how I have created the dynamic labels. Okay, so okay. So how I have created, this is a dynamic label. You can create dynamic labels n number of ways. For this one, I have used something called selected value. So for example, here I have created a drill through. So for these product lines. So if I say, if I right click here and drill through and say detailed, I go to classic cars. So this one is a dynamic, it changes dynamically. How it changes is, I have created a measure called, what is it, selected product, I think. Yeah, see here, this is a selected product. This is the measure that I have created. How I have created is, I've created a variable called selected product, and which is equal to selected value. This is the function that is available in Power BI, which gives you the selected value of the variable of the column. So selected value of the product line. And then when returning, I like to return more meaningfully. So what I have done is, I just put product because that is the product that it is showing. And then if it is blank, then if we did not select any value, it will give all products. Otherwise, it just gives you the selected product, which is the variable. So it's very simple, and it's if it makes your report meaningful if you add selected labels for your reports. So this is one tip. Okay, so I'll go back here, and next one is dynamic. Okay. Next one is how to add dynamic titles. It's somewhat similar to labels. Here, what I have used is something called first non-blank function here. So what I have done here is, here I have a slicer here for territory, and then I'm showing it for all territories at the moment because I didn't select any territory. And if I select APAC, so it's dynamically changes sales for APAC. And if I select both these, it is showing with a comma of both the territories. How I have done it is, again, created a measure called title. And then here, what I've used is, if I have used an if condition. If what I'm checking is, if this territory is filtered, if the territory is filtered, then what I want to display is sales for is a static text that I'm using, and then this static text I'm concatenating with this is the concatenating symbol, ampersand, and then I'm using a concatenate x function, and then for the concatenate x function, you need to provide a table in the table in context, and also what is the territory name. And because if you select multiple values, you need to separate them by commas. So that's what I have concatenated with a comma, and then close the brackets. And then if nothing is selected, I want a static text to be displayed as sales for all territories. So that's what it is displaying, and that's it. You will get all the you will get your dynamic title. When I was trying this, what happened was, if you look at my tables here, I'll just show you my tables. In the Kaggle dataset, there is a column called territory. That means each row of the sales table has a territory. If you use this territory, you will not get the right results. So you need to take the distinct of the territories, and then you need to create another table. Only then it works. So I just want to share with you that the mistakes that could happen. So I have created a distinct of what the territories are. So it has a EMEA, APAC and Japan, and not available is also there. So unless you use this and use the territory table, you won't get the accurate results. So just remember that when you are creating dynamic titles, you need to have distinct values, or use your dimension, because don't you try to use your data from the fact table, or from the detail table. So that covers adding dynamic labels and dynamic titles. Now, okay, traffic light KPI. We have 20 more minutes. Okay, traffic light KPI. Okay, so, sometimes we are so used to SSRS reports where you can create traffic lights. So here also there is a way to create traffic lights. So how this can be done is, I'll take an example first. I think, yeah, here, KPIs. So let's say we have a salespersons, and I have you can calculate the total sales as total sales column, or I just gave some random numbers, 10,000, 15,000, and things like that. And what I've done is I have calculated the average of these as a calculated column, and then once I have calculated the average, I have calculated a KPI. I just the way I have created a KPI is, for example, because the average is 17,000, I want all the sales, all the total sales that are above 18,000, let's say 18,000, to be green. So that means they are doing well, and above between 15 and 17 as doing yellow, which is 0, and then which are way beyond 18 is 1, and which are less than 15,000 is -1. So I've created a column here called KPI, and then here I have given a two if statements. So what I've done is, if the total sales is greater than the average, because the average is 17,000 here, my target was 18,000, so I just added $1,000 as the sales, and then that value, if that value is true, I'm creating a value as 1, which means green. And then if the KPI, if the total sales is greater than the average minus 5,000, so which is so 17,000 minus 5,000, then it will create as it will be 0, otherwise it will be -1. So the values here in the so the values here in the KPI column are calculated correctly. So that means brown should be shown as red, this one should be shown as yellow, and the -1 should be shown as red, and positive ones should be shown as greens. So the way to create is, I'll show you again. So what we can do is, you just create a donut chart, and then put the KPI column both in the legend and as well as in the values. And also we need to remember to mark the KPI as a text before we do that. So this is marked as modeling tab. See, this data type is text, and then the colors doesn't mean anything at the moment, so we need to go and change the data colors. So 0 means, for us, 0 means it will be yellow, 1 means green, and -1 is red. So this makes a bit of a sense. So if we add a slicer here for the salesperson, so if I add a salesperson here, so for example, if it is brown, it is showing red. Is that right? So let's prove that by, let's say, I'll just put a table here so that So salesperson and the KPI. So yeah, it is -1, so it is showing red. And if we select the next one, it is showing as 0. This value is 0, so yellow. So now we can confirm that it is red. The values and the KPIs, the charts are showing correctly. So one of the ways to create the traffic light is you can create a card, and then let's say drag the salesperson filter in there, and then it is showing at the moment, because we have selected this one, it is showing. So otherwise it's just showing this one. So what we can do, okay, so what we can do is, in here, for creating a KPI for brown, you just need to add a visual level filter here with the salesperson as just brown. So brown is giving only red. So, and then you can format this as no title and no legend and things like that, and then just move it here so that this is the KPI of this will become KPI for brown. And similarly, you can just copy this one and create another KPI for the next one. So here in the visual level filter, you can just say salesperson here now, and then you can use the same you can copy this one and then create the same, just to give you an idea. So, and then here also you have to change, okay, here visual level filter, you can change it to basic, not first. Oh god, this one you can change it to the concerned one, so you get the idea. So now it's only 10 minutes more. I just want to proceed. Traffic light, yeah.
If you have
any questions?
Time for a question, yeah. If it's possible to make the thing you built just now, is it possible to make the dynamic? So if a salesperson is added, will that automatically pop up, or can we make that happen? That's a question Ruben has.
So, I didn't get the question properly. Can you repeat it, please?
So if you can go back to the last Power BI file.
Okay,
you had the salespersons on the bottom right there. Yeah. Can we make that dynamic? So if we add a salesperson, do we actually always need to go through the entire process to make all this stuff happen?
If you want to see the KPIs for each individual salesperson, then you will have each individual salesperson's KPIs, the KPIs like this. Otherwise, what the initial thing that I have shown, you don't need to add filters. So for example, the first one that I have showed you here, if you add this one and then add the KPIs, and or maybe I have it here. Yeah, see here, if I select just brown, see, that is dynamic. And if it is, so that you can select, if you want to select, if you are preparing a report for just one salesperson, then because that will be whoever is monitoring the salesperson's the sales manager, so that person can select his own salesperson, and then you can see whether he's green or red or orange. So I didn't understand what the dynamic means. Dynamic means you can select in this way, so that you don't need to make traffic lights for each and every salesperson with a slicer. You don't need to.
Yeah.
Did I answer the question?
I'm waiting for Ruben to let something to say something, but okay. I do believe that would have answered the question.
Okay. Okay, proceed. If it is not, let's come back to it. Okay,
Sure.
now the next step is connect to Power BI desktop model from Excel or SSMS. Today I'm going to show you from Excel. So the way there is a real nice article here. The link I have provided here. It shows connecting from DAX command prompt, and also there is a link. I'm going to show you a very easy way. There is a link here which he has provided. You can find out from the, first of all, to connect to the Power BI desktop model. What you need to do is you need to find out the port where the Power BI desktop is operating. So to find out the port, the easiest way to do is copy that into the copy this link. I'll provide you with this link as well, and then go into the Windows Explorer and then paste it in, and then it will go into the analysis workspaces. So it will come here. Since I have so many Power BI desktop files open, it is showing so many files. Otherwise, if you open only one desktop file, it will show you only one. So once you are here, if you go in here and then go data, there is a file which is with the name where there is a .port.txt. Just open that file and then copy the port number there, and then that you can use to connect to let's say, for example, I'm just going to open a new Excel file. Connect from Excel. So I'm showing you connecting from Excel. So if you go data, get external data, and from other sources, choose from analysis services. The reason behind this one is there is an analysis services engine that runs when Power BI desktop runs. So you choose, that's the reason you choose analysis services, and it's a tabular model. And when you are prompted with this server name, you can just go localhost colon, and then paste that thing, and then you can use the Windows authentication. And then once you are there, it just connects. This is the name that that is dynamically given, and then you will connect to the Power BI model. I don't know, I have connected to the channel, to my YouTube channel. So it will give you so you can now proceed with the pivot table charts or graphs, whatever you want to use the Power BI desktop model for. So going to the next one, connect to the Power BI desktop model, and then sort a visual by a different column. Okay, so this you can refer to the Microsoft documentation. So I want to show this as an example. So for example, if I am here, see, if I am into the in a bar graph, if I want to sort, I click here, and then I can sort by ascending or descending. That is based on what the y-axis amount is, or I can sort by all the columns that are mentioned in just this this visual. So because I have sales in this visual and product line in this visual, I can sort only by these two. What if I want to sort by something else? Most common example is usually when you have month here. I don't have month in this data, unfortunately, otherwise I would have put that. If there is month here, if you put the month in the x-axis, usually what happens is it comes from in an alphabetical order, April, August, something like that. So in order to get away with that, what you need to do is, if you have selected this one and go to modeling tab, you can't sort by column. So in order to sort by column, what you need to do is you need to go into the field, field that you want to sort, and then go to modeling tab, and then you will get the highlighted sort by column highlighted. You should select this one, and then let's say you want it by, let's say, postal code. I'm just giving you an example. Usually there will be a month number in the data set. Then you can sort by month number so that you get the January, February, March sort of order. So that's one tip. Sort a visual by a different column, and month name and month number. Okay, now disconnect a visual from a slicer. So here are the steps. So for example, if I have a, I don't have a good example. Okay, so if I have a visual, let's say for example, I'm just doing on the line. So I have a pie chart of the sales by let's say status. Agenda is status. So you have this one here, and I want, because there is a status slicer here. Oh, there is no status slicer. Okay, let's say territory then. Okay, let's say territory here, and I want to disconnect this one. Disconnect this one from territory. So what we need to do is just go here and then edit interactions. That's what I think. Visual interaction, and then you need to just switch that off. Oh, God. So if you just switch that off, then whenever the territory changes, when you select this one, this doesn't change, because this should not change. Let's turn off the interaction on the, just on the respective visual. Okay, just the interaction, we need to turn it off. Oh, it's still on. Okay. Okay, so now hopefully now it will work. This one interaction. Okay. Hopefully now it won't. Yeah, for some reason this is not working, but yeah, you can disconnect a visual. Okay, and the next tip is the last tip, I think now. Oh, we have 1 more minute, and this one is an important tip as well. If you want to add a contact us button, I have written a blog post about this one. It is very easy. Just type let's say let's say on a card visual. Let's say you are just typing So I have written a blog post. I think we are up the time, right? I'll just show it here.
No, you can extend a bit. I scheduled a break for myself.
Oh, okay.
So if you run late, that's fine. Nobody's getting affected by that.
Okay, so then I will just
relax, take it easy.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be okay.
Okay, so I just show you how to add a contact us button.
So regarding the previous thing, people are commenting that you need to check for disconnecting the visual from interactions instead of just changing the visual header. So change the visual header instead of changing the visual interaction.
Visual interaction. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And okay, so for adding a contact us button, you just add a text box, and then okay, type in star. Can't see the star. Where is the star? Okay, I have typed in the star, and then I'm increasing the font to, let's say, maybe, yeah. And then change the font to Windings. Oh, I think this is the one. Windings. Yeah, this is the one. So see here, there is a contact envelope sort of thing that came up. And then now you can add a link saying mail to colon, and then you can give your email address. And then this will work in Power BI. So that's how simple it is. So, and then once you use the control click, because this is Power BI desktop, otherwise Power BI service will clicking on it will work. Control click, and then it will use the default email. If my default email is Outlook, it's going to give you an Outlook compose box, and then with a to name with the email that you have provided. So that's the last tip. Let's just recap. And also I want to just cover a couple of just very little the quick tips to improve performance. Always remember just to load only the columns that you need. Otherwise, it's like writing code in SQL. You can't expect good performance if you are writing select star from the table. So you need to always remember to load only the columns that you need. And also before you load the data, just make sure if you want to filter the data first and then load, so that it doesn't take long time to load. So quick recap. Oh, this is not the right one. So let's recap. So we have learned about web scraping. I'll give you good links, and then I'll give you the Power BI files that we have worked on. Get data from a website. It's once you know the format, it's really easy to load the data in a particular, that is formatted in a particular CSS to load the data easily. Adding dynamic goals. That's yeah, if you want to move your goals dynamically, and creating the dynamic labels and titles. This is somewhat similar. Traffic light KPI, mostly used by, as I think mostly asked by SSRS report users. Connect if you want to do something with your with your Power BI desktop file using Excel or Management Studio, you can do that. And you can sort a visual by a different column, and also disconnect a visual from a slicer. And also lastly, adding a contact us button. I hope you all must have learned something, at least one or two tips from this session. So that's it from me. Any questions, Jan?
No, just praise for the good session.
Okay.
Martin actually enjoyed that last tip very much with the wingdings.
Yeah, yes.
So that was, yeah, good.
I think this was based on a tweet by Charles Sterling.
Okay, so we need to be thanking Charles for everything.
Yes, thanks. Yes, thanks. Yeah, I'm going to mention that.
No, it's
when I
good.
when I release the PowerPoint report, PowerPoint file.
Not everybody
okay.
has Twitter, so it's great that you repeat it, so more people actually know about this.
Yeah.
So great, yeah.
Hope everybody has learned something
yeah.
from this session.
Thank you for doing that.
Okay.
Even with the coughing, it went perfect.
Yeah.
You did a good job. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everyone.